And welcome to a Stardew Valley tutorial on how I duplicate items. So it works based off of a glitch. For duplicated items, there's a known glitch where if you put a chest in front of your bin here, that you can sell a bunch of stuff and get a lot of money. The problem with that is that a lot of those items aren't going to be stable, so they'll become glitched items, in which case they will eventually stabilize themselves down to one item or none at all. So here's how I do it. I've got two chests set up here. I think what I'm going to do for probably better visual, red and green. You don't have to set the color of yours. They could be the same color. They could be like no color at all. They could be same as this one right over here. But just for the tutorial purposes, I'm going to use the red and green as seen in my last live that I did right before this with Dog's House of Games. I set up my chest similar to this. I had a red one and a green one, basically so I could tell the difference between the two apart. My red is going to be my chest to duplicate. The green one is going to be my stabilized items. So first, let me make sure that I have a full inventory. So as you can see, I have a full inventory now. I absolutely have no room for anything else. I haven't unlocked the third backpack yet. This can be done with all backpack upgrades. You just need to make sure that your inventory is full. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and, now that I have that one item that I want to duplicate in here, I can pick that up. And if you had multiple items in here to duplicate, that's fine too. You just pick up the one that you're looking to duplicate, head over to your organize button, and then hold down on PlayStation, it's the X button. On Xbox, it is going to be the A button. I believe it's going to be that similar location button for the Nintendo Switch as well. I have not tried this on the Switch, so I'm not entirely sure how all the controls work on that one just yet. But for this, it's your X button for the PlayStation. And you're just going to hold that down. It's going to say inventory's full down the bottom left corner. It's going to kind of spaz out on the right hand side. Nope, I don't want to toss that. And I'm just going to place that back here in the chest. Now, since I have a full inventory, I'm not going to be able to pick any of these up. But I have a whole bunch of them items down there. Now, in the money glitch, you'd have a chest down there that you do everything like there. However, when you stand over here and you have one item out of your inventory, you can just then pop everything into the bin here and sell it. It may not show up on the screen for that you've sold it. That's part of that glitch, because it just won't show that you sold anything, but you'll still get the money for it. However, what I'm going to do is I'm going to now stabilize all of those items so that they become permanent items in the game. So I've removed one item, so I have one slot in my inventory. I've just picked up a few of those logs there, some wood. As you can see, I've already done this a few times. I'm going to come over to the item that I've duplicated. Notice that I didn't pick up a full stack of 999. I've only picked up a stack of 512. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to hit on the PlayStation button. I'm going to hit the square button. For Xbox, it's going to be the X button, the blue button. And that is going to be basically dropping one individual piece of wood into the chest. So I'm basically holding that down, and it's automatically filtering everything into, or it's automatically filtering one singular piece of wood at a time into that chest. So basically what I'm doing here is I'm stabilizing that so that I'm making sure that it's going in there, and you'll notice that the inventory of those go up to the full stack of 999. Since I've already done this a bunch of times, let me show you what it looks like when I've already removed a bunch of those items. So if I had more than one open space, like I have here, like I've got almost a full row of empty spaces here, come over and it'll pick up all of those. And now it's automatically adjusted. There's no longer 900 and something here. They've already kind of stabilized amongst themselves, and it's lowered the amount in that one spot. And now they're all equal. By doing that again, it's now stabilizing all of them at the same time. If you notice that the 4 pieces of wood on the left-hand side are now all going down by 1 as well, that's them stabilizing, turning into 1. But once you're down to that, you can then place each one individually, and those will now be permanent in the game. And you can pick up and you can move them all like so, and those will not disappear. Without stabilizing, they will disappear and they'll be gone. Poof. I was about to say, that's something that I did in the live stream at one point when I was trying to make logs to upgrade my little cabin when I was playing with Dog's House of Games. I didn't do it properly, so they destabilized to 1 in each stack, to which, once compiled together, became just 1 item in 1 section. It's a fairly well-known glitch. However, not many have posted about how to do the stabilization, so I figured I would show everyone how to do that on my end, considering that that was a question that was brought up a couple of times during the stream, as well as something that was suggested for me to do. So from there, now that you have a stabilized stack of a bunch of items, you can now sell those. So I can say if I wanted to sell a bunch, I can then turn around and sell those, and that will actually show up when I go to sleep, showing as I had sold those, because they're a permanent fixture or a permanent item in the game, no longer a glitched item. I'll show that here. And it's an easy way to make thousands upon thousands, if not millions, if you have the right items. Items that are high in quality, that sell for a ton, those will be worth quite a bit. And you can make tons upon tons of those and sell those and become a millionaire in no time. So I'm going to go through everything here in just a second and show you step by step how I did everything. Okay, I just want to throw that in there. I'm going to go ahead and grab a stack of wood. Alright. So I use 2 chests. And so these are the ones that I did to show the tutorial. Here's my set of 2 new ones here. These are completely empty. There is nothing in them. Alright. And I'll show that with a different item. And that can be used on any item in the game. Absolutely any item in the game. So if there's a special item like the golden pumpkin that's a universal loved gift for villagers, you can duplicate that. You can duplicate quite literally any item in the game. Let's see, what do I want to... I guess for giggles here, I think I'm just going to make a ton of those staircases. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and now I'll fill... Actually, I'll go ahead and drop that in my I'll just go play ahead and place one of them in there. Now I'm going to go make sure that my inventory is completely full. All right. Now I'm duplicating the items, holding down the X key, or the X button on the PlayStation. Remember, that is A on the Xbox. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and move my chicken statue in there. So now that there's a bunch of them there, and I have 512 of these staircases here. I'm just going to go ahead and hold down the triangle square button on the PlayStation. Would be the blue X button on the Xbox. And this is the most time-consuming part of it, is holding down the single drop button, because at that point you're just basically waiting for everything to filter through. As soon as it hits on where my little cursor is, 500 and something, usually it's 50, I want to say like 505 maybe, roughly, it automatically picks up what's in the stack behind me, so it automatically brings that up to 999, and then it just filters in. It stabilizes that way. So basically what I'm doing here is I'm stabilizing the individual items, and each individual item that's going into the chest becomes a permanent item. Alright, so once you've had as many as you need, you should be all set. You can now use these as you will. You can place these in other chests, because now they are all non-glitched items. And you can use them, sell them, do whatever you need with them. In this case, where there's stairs, you can you can endlessly explore all the different dungeons and mines until your heart's content. I wouldn't advise that, considering that even though you get to the very bottom of the thing, that's not really going to help your combat score any. But you may be able to access some of the better weapons and stuff. But like I said, this can be used for multiple different things. You can basically make a ton of resources so that you're never out of supplies for upgrading the house, or building farm buildings, even construction of different crafting items. I've done this primarily with the iridium ore and iridium ingots. That way I had enough for doing the upgrades on my tools, as well as being able to make stuff such as the iridium sprinklers. Or once you've made one, you can just multiply those and duplicate those to your heart's content. But that's what I do for my duplication, and what I did for the duplication during the live stream with Dog's House of Games. So if you do use this method, you're welcome, and thank you for watching. And happy farming.